Hey guys, so today we are going to solve the question number 6 of the ISC 2024 Computer Science paper. So the question number 6 says design a class decihex, which will convert a decimal number to its hexadecimal equivalent. The details are given here. So let's go to the Blue Jay and try to code it. Okay, so here's the question. I already coded for you. So class decihex as asked in the question. You have a number to store the decimal number and a hex to store the hexadecimal equivalent. Then you have a default constructor which is storing the numeric and the string with the default values. You have created a SC object of the scanner class to take input, and here we are taking the input. Now this is the main function which we need to discuss, the recursion function to convert a decimal number to its hexadecimal equivalent. Let's discuss that now. So here is the function convert, which is taking n as a parameter, that is a decimal number, and then into the hex string you are storing all the hexadecimal number. So when we store it, the position of these digits are going to be like this. Position means the index value 3 and so on. This will have a 10, then 11, and then 12, and so on, right? Now what we are doing, we are checking whether the number that if the number is more than 0, of course when the number becomes equal to 0, the process will end. Now what we are doing, we are picking. Okay, let me explain you. Means of course you would be knowing it. Let me explain you again the conversion process, right? So let's take 25 decimal number. When I convert it to decimal, I need to divide it by 16. So 16 116, and the remainder is going to be 9. So now the hexadecimal equivalent is going to be collecting the remainder in the reverse way. Now when you again try to divide this 1 by 16, this will be taken as a remainder. So the 19 is the hexadecimal equivalent. Now what is happening here is the first remainder happens to be 9. Okay, so now what it will do, it'll pick, because the remainder will come here somewhere here, it'll pick the char at from this hex, the char character at the ninth position. Now you see what is at ninth position, the 9 itself, right? So it'll pick 9 and store it into hex. So a hex is going to store 9. Now it comes down, the next remainder is 1. So what it'll do, it'll pick the character at 1th position, which happens to be 1, and that is added in front of the hex. So hex is already storing 9, I'm sorry. So 1 will come in before. So you will get a 19 as an answer. Let's see another example. As in the question paper, they have asked for 28 also. So 16, 116, and then the remainder is 12. All right. So now what it'll do, it'll pick this initially into the hex. It'll pick this and try to pull out the character at 12th position. So that is going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, C. So it will store C into the hex. After that, the remainder is 1. So it is going to pick the from the hex string char at 1th position, which is 1. So we'll add that 1 in front of it, because of we are doing this in front of the previous hex. So we are basically concatenating at the front. Okay, and that's how it coming like this. So 1 is the equivalent of 28 hexadecimal equivalent, and 19 is the hexadecimal equivalent of 25. And then when this process ends, when the number becomes 0, it just prints the hexadecimal number. That is this in the first case, this in the second case, right? This is the way this recursive function works. It was quite simple actually. Now let's see what other functions are there. So if you look at other function, we have a display function which is just going to print the decimal number, and then it prints a message that a hexadecimal equivalent to this, and then it calls the convert, the recursive function, and the recursive function at the end is going to print this message. So the hexadecimal number is going to be printed in front of this. All right, and now they said you have to create a main function also, where you have to create an object, which I did, obj. Then I call the get number using that object, and the display using that object. The display itself, it's calling the convert recursive function, so we need not to directly call the convert in the main. So this is the way this question works. All right, I hope you would have understood. So thank you very much for your time. The next video would be, I would be solving some other question from this paper. Thank you very much. If you like the video, please subscribe and share. Thank you.